Hey, it's Mega May! You know what that means, so watch out for spikes and call yourself Hippopotamus. It's time for a Mega Man video. Hey, shoutouts to Fantaboy Toff for telling me that this video needed to exist. Really could have lived without that, thanks. Of all the games who have accurately predicted parts of the future, I will never be more baffled or frustrated at the fact that Battle Network got very close to how we are now. I mean, in the early aughts, this was a laughable state of the world. Imagine having a world where our refrigerator and other kitchen appliances were connected to the internet. Or that we would have an advanced AI in the palm of our hand at any given moment. Just like in our own world, the Battle Network world has every device connected to the net at any given time. We can access it remotely from any location, which is why I need to take a moment to talk about this video's sponsor. I don't have a sponsor. The difference is, while we run our world through smartphones such as the iPhone, they run their world through PETs, or personal terminals. And we can tell it's not an Apple product because they're able to run exe files. Also proving that the world doesn't run on Apple devices is that there's viruses everywhere you turn. And these viruses can range from pretty benign to fairly malicious, from blocking a few emails to shutting down half the city's electricity. And the only way to stop these viruses is by using your phone's assistant, the NetNavi. You see, in addition to being an advanced AI, NetNavis have a customizable appearance, unique personality, and even fight off threats and viruses on the internet. And amid this world of rapidly advancing technology, there is an organization known as World 3 led by Dr. Wily that aims to destroy net society as it is. Just imagine a world without your mom posting minion memes to Facebook. It might just be a better world. But our internet's going to be just fine thanks to Lan Hikari and his NetNavi MegaMan. After a long day at school, Lan comes home to find a repairman working on his stove at home, only for that same stove to be spewing out flames moments later. So Lan jacks in and MegaMan finds a helpful fireman to help put out the flames. Wait, that doesn't say a fireman, that says fireman. That jerk was sent here by World 3 to gather a special program found in Lan's stove for some inexplicable reason. But unfortunately, Fireman only has one of 4 elemental programs, which mean Lan and MegaMan's work is just beginning. After casually dealing with the hostage situation at your school and getting the metro back up and running, Lan returns to home to find that all of the plumbing in town has gone away, and he's gotta pee. The most logical solution to the problem is to find a local waterworks station. Inside, Lan finds that there's ice encasing all the major plumbing lines, so he jacks into the computer system to find a helpful clown Navi, pointing him forward, and further in, a Navi named Protoman, seeing if he can find anything suspicious. Suspicious? Yeah, there's a clown back there. I don't trust him. But at the end of the road, he finds Iceman, guarding another one of the elemental programs that World 3 is searching for. Now, if some of the names sound familiar, it's because a lot of the characters in this game were named after the robot masters from the previous games, now with a fresh coat of paint to suit their new digital lives. But now, World 3 has all 4 elemental super programs and combines them to make the Life Virus. A massive and near indestructible beast that's uploaded onto a missile targeting military systems. And wow, Alec-Man, step up your game! But as the heroes approach the Life Virus, MegaMan finds himself badly injured, and give me a moment while things get really anime for a minute. So when Lan was young, he had a twin brother, and that twin brother died. But Lan's dad is a genius scientist who took his dead son's DNA and converted it into code, which he then used to create MegaMan. But now he delivers them a patch file, which is used to then correct a small coding error in the DNA coding for MegaMan, allowing them to then gain the power of brotherly love, which is used to destroy the Life Virus. Pretty sure I got all that right. Summertime, the birds are singing, the sun is shining, and there's a new wave of net terror at the hands of Net Mafia Gospel. One of the major differences in this game that sets it apart from the first is that there's actual intentions behind each of the attacks. You see, Yai, Lan's friend who is attacked, is the daughter of a rich family, so she's being held for ransom so that Gospel can get some sweet, sweet cash for their evil doing. Yai's ventilation system is tampered with, flooding her house with some pretty nasty gases. And behind this all is Airman, but I just can't beat him. Just kidding, he goes down pretty easily, leaving Lan to face something much more terrifying. Yai, naked. After that debacle, Lan and his friends, Dex, Mail, Yai, and Chad decide to go camping in the woods. But things turn south quickly when they find bombs scattered throughout the camping site, with multiple detonators located on the dam. The culprit is Quickman, not Bomb Man for some reason. But either way, he's stopped before the city below can be taught a lesson about preserving nature. More crime erupts throughout the net, including Cutman cutting off access to the entire country of Yumland. And Shadowman attacking Scilab's computer systems. Shadowman is defeated, and Lan's decided he's had enough with gospel shenanigans and takes the next flight out of the country. Now in the country of Netopia, Lan and Chad find themselves attending a meeting of the world's highest-ranking net battlers to devise a plan to stop Gospel before they go too far. They also learn that Gospel's plan is to create an invincible Navi, learning from the life fires in World 3's mistakes. But the castle where the meeting takes place is rigged with traps, and one of Gospel's attendees is there, hoping to take out all the world's best operators all at once. She doesn't, obviously. We beat her. But the bad guys never give up, and Lan's plane home gets hijacked by MegaMan, only for him to finally return home and find that the entire atmosphere is out of whack in Gospel's craziest attack yet. Lan and Mega trace the attack and stop the madness, while uncovering Gospel's hidden headquarters. At the end of the road, or apartment complex in this case, stands a young boy in his nearly finished Supernavi base. Their goal? Destroy Net Society. That sounds vaguely familiar. Base is defeated, but the buggy data used to make him goes haywire and creates a big boy doggo virus who needs to be put down humanely. But in the end, we find that it wasn't that young boy behind Gospel this whole time, but actually, Dr. Wily!
But I thought you were dead!
World 3 is back, baby, and this time, if they can't destroy Net Society, they'll have to destroy the net itself. That's right, Dr. Wily's back to his old tricks, and he's got a bunch of new henchmen to help him find the 4 tetracodes needed to unleash absolute internet chaos. 4chan. I mean Alpha. The first attack happens at Lan's school, where his friends are hypnotized to stop them from interfering. But Lan is saved thanks to opening an umbrella indoors. But that's bad juju! And he rescues his friends from living out the rest of their lives as ballerinas. Meanwhile, there's a major net battling competition going on called the N1 Grand Prix, and MegaMan, as well as Dex's Navi Gutsman, are advancing through the ranks quickly. Time for a field trip! Those have never gone wrong, right, Miss Frizzle? On a trip to the local zoo, all the animals are set free and somehow manage not to kill any of the children. A World 3 Navi named Beastman has to be stopped. Next up is one of my favorite Navis, Bubbleman, and he's trapped Mail inside of a bubble that's set to explode. And I mean, I guess your teacher's in there too, but she's not as important, I guess. So it's up to MegaMan to go in and just pop Bubbleman. The N1 Grand Prix tournament is nearing its end, but Lan smells something fishy going on with one of the contestants. Surprise! It's a World 3 agent, and he's determined to defeat the world's top net battlers to show how truly powerful World 3 is. But MegaMan and Lan defeat them with their super special, super secret attack. Roll clip. Next, World 3 attacks a hospital, and then spreads fires throughout the net. But both times they're destroyed. Unfortunately, who should show up next but Base himself, the Super Navi created at the end of the last game. He curb stomps you and sends you crying back home. There has to be a way to stop him from teaming up with Dr. Wily. It's at this point that Lan finds that there might be a program to help stop Alpha if he ever comes into the wrong hands. So he tracks it down to the Undernet, effectively the dark web of this world. But now Alpha's unleashed, and he's growing ever stronger by the day. So Lan and a couple of the other strongest net battlers from the N1 tournament go raid Wily's hidden base and plan to stop him for good. Lan and Dr. Wily are sent into the net using some Matrix-like machines, so they get to watch firsthand as MegaMan defeats Base, who is guarding an ever-growing Alpha. But Alpha is a hungry, hungry boy. He swallows up Base as well as Dr. Wily before Lan and MegaMan deliver the final blow to that big nasty. Lan and Mega find themselves in a type of data memory that they explain more in a couple of games, where they find Lan's grandfather, who can interact with them through a memory. Again, like I said, I'll explain in a couple of games. But he gives them a letter before they are inevitably swallowed up by Alpha. Mega Man makes a sacrifice play, and Lan finds himself waking up in his bed a few days later. As it turns out, that letter contained the long-lost backup of Mega Man's data, allowing him to be saved. Danger, danger, there's a massive asteroid headed towards Earth. What will our heroes, Mega Man and Lan, do? They're gonna enter some tournaments. I'm gonna be honest, Battle Network 4 took a dramatic shift in its storytelling, and this may be the best-selling Battle Network games, but man, I can't say anything good about them. Instead of focusing on one major plot, they instead divide it into 3 tiny little plots that don't really have any intersection. The first plot revolves around Lan entering into a series of tournaments, gaining new powers and allies along the way. This takes up the majority of the time spent in the game. The second revolves around the internet's equivalent of illegal drugs, dark chips. These are being spread by a new evil team called Nebula, and in a surprising plot twist, it's not actually being led by Dr. Wily. And lastly, third, which probably should take up the majority of the time, but doesn't, a meteor is headed for Earth. Imminent doom. And it doesn't even get played up until the very end. So, there's not really a bunch of lore or anything added in this game. I'm sorry to say, but we're gonna have to move on to the next game. In between the events of Battle Networks 4 and 5, Nebula has inexplicably taken over the net. The spread of dark chips is just overwhelming, and this time, Lan and Mega Man are actually gonna do something about it. And it all starts off when Nebula attacks Scilab while Lan is there visiting, and they kidnap his dad. Lan jacks into the net at Scilab, where it appears that there's an attack happening. But as it turns out, it's all just a test put on by either Claude and Proto Man, or a new character, Beryl, and his Navi Colonel. Not the kidnapping part, though. That actually happened, that wasn't a test. And just for the ease of storytelling, for the purposes of this video, I'm going to talk as if we were teaming up with Proto Man. Claude is tasked with putting together a team of defenders to help take back the net from Nebula's hands, and his newest recruit is you. Lan and friends take an outing to the beach, but he quickly has to jump into action to stop his friend from being turned into lasagna by a big old drill. And as it turns out, the defensive Navi who helps to save your friends also has the power to help you push deeper into the net. Until Nebula's finally had enough, and they straight up kidnap Mega Man. And using this time, they implant him with a dark chip, and it transforms him even if he used dark chips prior in the games. This time, it turns him evil. So now, Lan finds himself without a Navi, but luckily, Chod's there to help him out. He lends you Proto Man, at least until you can get back your Navi of your own. And you push further back into Nebula's territory, until they actually fight you directly using Dark Mega. And after you defeat him, you somehow clear him of his darkness and regain control of your old friend. It's not super well explained, but we'll go with it. Things continue to gain momentum for your team until Proto Man finds himself critically injured after defending a teammate from one of Cloud Man's attacks. And just like Mega Man before him, Proto Man shows up as the next boss, only sporting a darker color palette. But unlike Mega Man, it takes a little more persuasion to get him back to normal. Remember that memory data from the end of the third game? Well, here's where it takes place again. Mega Man and Lan in this time have been unraveling some secrets of the past, and they found a connection between Dr. Regal, their own relatives, and Dr. Wily.
But I thought you were dead!
But now it's time to assemble the Avengers and go strike back at Nebula head-on at the Dark Chip Factory and get our dad back. And save the net. That too. Darkness itself manifests in Nebula Gray, but luckily, the final boss is taken down thanks to 2 secrets. 1, Mega Man's naked glowy boy form, and 2, the secret of slotting in Boktai 2 to the DS's double slot feature. The island is exploding, but Lan's dad stays back to try and talk some sense into Dr. Regal before they go. And then who would show up but Dr. Regal's own dad himself, Dr. Wily.
But I thought...
Due to some loosely explained technology, Dr. Regal's mind is wiped of all his Nebula evil deeds, and he's able to actually help return the net to its proper state. Pretty nice ending. Almost done. With Nebula destroyed and dark chips losing their influence, life actually kind of returns to normal. There's no immediate threat, and the only thing that we have to kick off is Lan moves to a new city. That's right, forget AC/DC Town. That place is on the highway to hell, never to come back at black. Cyber City is much more advanced than AC/DC Town as far as technology goes. They actually have these copy bots that Lan finds on his first day of school, which you can jack your Navi into and have a physical presence in the real world. Not like that could ever be used for malicious purposes. But one of Lan's new classmates, Mick, has a falling out with this net Navi, and just so happens to find a new Navi named Blastman who wants to cause some trouble in the net. But Lan and MegaMan stop Blastman's fires and are able to return Mick and his proper net Navi back together, and in return, he gives us a key to go further into the net. Here, Mega finds some statues of some ferocious looking beasts, but we'll get back to those later, because right now, Mick has a new penguin buddy. Lan and Mick take the penguin back to the aquarium, but surprise, it's Beastman Attack 2 Electric Boogaloo, Aquarium Boogaloo. Lan and MegaMan are able to stop Dive Man and return the aquarium animals back to their proper place. Hey, there's fun stuff going on in the net. But first we have to talk to this mysterious new girl named Iris. Iris. But the fun stuff isn't as fun as expected. There's a clown Navi, I told you I don't trust them, who's stealing the energy from other Navis and feeding it to a giant hole in the center of the area. But this hole is where the Psybeasts were imprisoned, and he's looking to resurrect them. And to my surprise, it actually works. The Psybeasts are resurrected from the hole, and Circus Man is able to capture one of them. In the meantime, the other Psybeast starts hacking everything up, forcing Circus Man to retreat while he still can. But how was Circus Man able to hold such a large amount of data inside of him? Well, Lan overhears his dad talking about how it's the same program that was used for MegaMan to increase his storage capacity. So, Lan finally does his math homework. 2 Navis, 2 Psybeasts. One takes one of them, leaving 1 and 1 remaining. Lan takes MegaMan back to the site of the Psybeast attack to try and absorb the Psybeast into his own body, just like Pennywise did. Unfortunately, he kind of forgot that extra storage space is where he hides the soul of his dead brother. So after absorbing the Psybeast into his body, MegaMan collapses. Through perseverance and the help of some friends, MegaMan learns to control the power of the beast inside of him and not always collapsing all the time when it's released. And he's able to come back and use it to fight off Circus Man. During the next day at school, Lan finds out that his dad's been arrested, but I've played a lot of Ace Attorney, so if anyone can clear him of suspicion, it's me. And, just like Ace Attorney, there's a plot twist. Your dad is innocent, and it was the prosecutor trying to frame him the entire time. But as we go to face down his Navi judge man, Colonel goes to stop us. But wasn't he a friend in the last game? Colonel is chased away by a mysterious and somehow vaguely familiar Navi, leaving MegaMan to face Judge Man on his own. MegaMan and Mick's Navi, who doesn't have a name, go to find some weird rumblings happening in the Undernet when MegaMan beasts out and collapses yet again. The beasted out MegaMan is stopped by that mysterious Navi from earlier, but is then handed over to Lan's care. MegaMan and Lan are tasked with stopping a weather control system from going haywire, when Colonel shows up, working for a revived World 3, but is stopped when our friend Iris comes to our side. But wait, does that mean that Dr. Wily survived the Dark Chip Factory explosion?
You were dead!
To make a long story short, MegaMan is then captured, forced to beast out, and then is sent into a copybot to go attack the real world, only to be stopped by Iris. Iris. MegaMan is forced to retreat back to the net, where he's back to his usual self. But then Colonel comes in to attack, only to be stopped by that mysterious hooded Navi from earlier. And it's Proto-Man! Later on, Cyber City hosts a giant technology expo that, surprise, is actually World 3's headquarters, like a block away from Lan's house. And thanks to some massive copybots and the programs stolen from throughout the game, Wily has everything he needs to take the Psybeasts into the real world and cause some massive mayhem. There's just one final battle. MegaMan takes on the Psybeast using the power of his own, and is able to stop Wily once and for all. The battle takes its toll on MegaMan, and he beasts out once again. But Iris, now revealed to be a Navi and a copybot this entire time, and her brother, Colonel, fuse to be able to stop MegaMan, revert him back, and send him back home. And once Lan, MegaMan, and the other innocents are safe, Iris and Colonel combine their powers to create a self-destruct system powerful enough to take down the copybots and the Psybeasts. But wait, Iris?
No, this isn't happening! There's no reason for me to go on. What? What am I fighting for?
With the threat of the copybots behind them, MegaMan and Lan return back home and actually move back to ACDC Town with a special copybot in tow so he can have his best friend and brother, MegaMan, beside him. Like peanut buttery. I even have my E-Tank mug. Look at that. I didn't even plan that. I just happened to be using it. Hey, it's Mega May. You know what that means. So watch out for a spiked trap and... You see, in addition to being an advanced AI, I cannot string it along. You see, after a long day of school, Lan finds himself back at home where his oven is inexplicably spewing out flames. I take it back, it's not doing that yet. So Lan jacks himself in. That sounds gross, but it's not. He jacks MegaMan in to the oven. MegaMan goes in, he finds himself there, and saves the day. The end. That may just be the worst one yet. I had it so good. I'm gonna delete that. No, I'll just go. I'll go. I won't. MegaMan is able to defeat him, put out the flames, and do something. Stop him and put out the flames. Find a helpful clown Navi. No, he doesn't find that yet. So the most logical explanation is to go to the local waterworks station to find anything suspicious. Nope, he doesn't. To find any cause of the problem. The most logical solution to... I'm slurring my S's already. That's uploaded into a missile. A missile! But now, World 3 has all 4 major elemental programs, super programs. But now, World 3 has all 4 elemental super programs, and combines them. It combines them. Lan has had enough of their shenanigans. Before returning home to find the entire environment. And we find that Gospel isn't the one behind this attacks after all, but actually... And in here put the, "But I thought you were dead!" clip. Oh, I'm recording. Hi. You're a bad banana. There we go. Before Lan and MegaMan deliver the final blow. Deliver the final blow. I used to be a DJ, did you know that? It wasn't a good one, but I was one. But I thought you were dead. But now it's time to avenge the assembles. No. But then who would show up as then his blip 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 blip. Bit bit bit. Bit 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 bit.